Hello,
Hello.
Ulisses. How are you? My name's Nick.
Hey Nick, how are you? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Do you have sort of 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah,
just to-
sure. Yeah, Jack told me you guys were gonna call, so yeah, it's totally cool.
Cool. Okay.
Sorry I couldn't make yesterday. I'm stuck in traffic.
Oh, no problems. These things happen. So the Dubai Muscle Show is upcoming, and not far away. Are you excited about coming over?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited actually. I've been to Dubai before, but not for like a public event. Just more to visit, and a couple of times I stopped over and stayed for a few days, connecting flights and stuff. So it's really nice actually.
Cool. How long are you going to be here for? Are you going to sort of hang around for a bit afterwards?
Yeah, I'll probably stay a little bit longer this time, just to really check it out even more. I've always liked Dubai. Just anytime I go there, I never have enough time there. So this time I'm really looking forward to coming with my team and be able to stay a little longer and do some shoots and do some training out there and just kind of meet a lot of people and a lot of supporters.
Yeah, cool. Can you give us a bit of an idea about your sort of daily routine for?
Yeah.
What do you?
Funny,
how does it work to look like?
Yeah, I was just talking to my team about it. For me, my stuff is really simple. Pretty old school, old-fashioned in the sense of I keep to the basics. I mean, I do a lot of crazy stuff with my training, but in terms of like nutrition and stuff, it's usually the basic. So I get up in the morning. Usually when I get up, I tend to do a little bit of core session, usually about 15 minutes or so, nothing crazy. Yeah. So it's more fasted abs or fasted core. So light core, I just pick 2 or 3 exercises, sometimes 3 or 4. I do that, and make sure I also do about 200 push-ups. Right. Just break them down into 4 sets of 50 or so. So it takes me, a combination with everything, takes me less than 10 minutes, to be honest. Okay. Yeah, I do that every morning or every other morning, just depending on my schedule, really. And that's just a routine I've always done, since I started working out, to be honest. And then I'll have like my coffee and have my protein and BCAAs and stuff like that. So I'm pretty big on protein first thing in the morning. Right. With my oats. Yeah, that's usually standard. And that starts my day usually. So usually after that, it's usually meetings or training, or I have to do some stuff for the family. So it's usually a hectic schedule for me. Yeah, but it's cool.
Like you said, protein in the mornings. Do you have sort of steak and chicken and sort of
Oh yeah. During the day, I mean, throughout the day. So a typical day would be my protein, then oats. Then usually I'll probably get some egg whites in there, and then I'm good. And then usually before I train, I tend to train around noon sometimes. So I would have like my egg whites with some kind of toast or something, and then that's fine. And then I'll have another shake before I train. It's usually a light shake. I'll train, then I have a post-workout shake. Then I have my lunch, which is usually like rice and chicken or rice and fish, or I sometimes have like a sweet potato with some chicken and stuff like that. I don't usually have steak a lot. Not that I don't have it, I do have it, but when I do have it, it's maybe once a week or so, or maybe once every 10 days. So it's not every day I have like steak. I'm usually mainly fish and chicken kind of guy. I love seafood as well, so yeah. But with prawns and stuff, it's a bit high in cholesterol, so I kind of limit that a little bit.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so that's usually that. Typically, I eat normal, to be honest. My typical meals is like some kind of protein, which is fish or chicken, some kind of carbs, which would be sweet potato, brown rice, or sometimes white rice, and then I'll have a salad with that. That's typically like how my plate is. It's a little bit colorful, so a little bit of stir-fried vegetables, a little bit of rice or sweet potato, and a little bit of, I love sea bass, I love my chicken baked, so I usually grilled or baked, so I usually have that. And so, like I said, I'm pretty old school and normal and plain, really. Nothing crazy about my diet. It's just that when I have a competition or a photo shoot and stuff like that, then I just fine tweak it. So instead of having like a normal stuff, it's more steam stuff. So my body just changes a little bit. I just get more refined. Yeah. I also don't have carbs after like 6 o'clock. The carbs I have, I usually trace amounts from vegetables. So I'll just usually take the carb part out. I'll have my regular carbs during the day because I train and I have meetings and I'm always running around. But after 6 p.m., if I have a steak or chicken or fish, I just have it with some vegetables, some stir-fried vegetables, or just vegetables, steamed broccoli or asparagus, and that's pretty much it. So I keep that lean, and then I'll have like a casein before I go to bed to get that little extra calories in because I have supplemented the carbs from that.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's usually my typical routine.
And when you started bodybuilding, did you know sort of much about nutrition and stuff, or did you know, how long?
No, not in the beginning. I don't think anyone, when we all started, if everyone wants to be honest, I don't think a lot of us knew about stuff unless you started from high school and that's what you wanted to study. But pretty much, I think we all learn as we go. So for me, I knew early I wanted to be a trainer and just wanted to be able to implement and motivate people and teach people really. So I started learning about it. But in the beginning, when I started around 18, I didn't really know much about it. And I remember recalling asking some of the guys in the gym about even protein shakes and what's good and what's not better to take, what's not good to take. And this proper old school, so going way back when I think it was Myoplex,
Yeah.
the EAS Myoplex. Yeah, they used to have the Myoplex Mass and Deluxe, and I remember I used to take that because back then I just wanted to gain weight. I was just a skinny, scrawny little kid, really. So for me, I got into training because I wanted to put on some size. I never really got into it because I wanted to be a bodybuilder. It's when I started seeing results and people started telling me about competing and my friends entered me into a show. It's when I started looking at pictures, like from back then with the guys like Frank Zane, Arnold, and these guys. But my initial inset was just to gain some weight. I was just a scrawny American kid that needed to put on some mass, really. Because I played a lot of sports, and when you play American football and all this stuff, if you don't have the size, you get beat up a lot.
Yeah. And when did you realise you were sort of onto something? Because, did you see results straight away, or did you start really
Well, I think with anything you do, sometimes that first initial month or so, you just see something right there. But for me, I've always been a patient person. I've always kind of mapped things out and say, look, you know what, I'm not looking for a quick fix, so I'm not looking to get that beach body by summer. I'm not trying to, you get people that get fit for the summer.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to be fit for life, so I'm not, I wasn't really into okay, I was trained for 3 months and I get that body and then, and then I take time off. For me, I was just thinking, you know what, I'm 18, 19, I'm not worried. Just keep training at 25, see how you look. At 30, see how you look. At 35, see how you look. And just keep going, really. So, I mean, there was a phase when I didn't, compete from 2005 to 2010 because my kids were born. One was born 2005, one was born 2007. Yeah. And I still trained continuously. So, because, like I said, it's just a lifestyle. It's either you're about the lifestyle or you're just faking it. So for me, I just trained and it was just normal. But I think I initially saw, back to your question, something really, I thought I was onto something when my friends, it was just for fun, for kicks really. We decided to do a local NPC show, which was just a very small one. It was in Queens, New York. I'll never forget it. And it was a promoter by the name of Gino. He's one of the NPC guys, and his thing, what was the name of the show again? It'll probably come to me, but it was really just a tiny little show. Maybe you get like 60 competitors or 80 competitors, nothing big. Yeah. And we said, let's just do it for fun. And I was the youngest one in the group because we used to do a lot of stuff like calendar and Macy's shows for Macy's, and like department store modeling and all that kind of stuff. Because I was small at the time, so they always said I had great genetics. You should try it. So I said, okay, fine. You guys can help me. And again, it was a way for me to learn about myself, my physique. So I said, you know what? I'm young. Why let's give it a try? And I actually ended up winning the show and beating all my friends, and they were all surprised. And so I was like, wow, I'm onto something. But even then, it didn't really get to me about, I want to be a bodybuilder or whatever. I just thought, you know what? why don't I just do a show every year, and that way it's a way for me to motivate myself, and then I can see how my physique changes every year, because then I can set goals and say, look, next year I want to be, 5 pounds heavier, I want to come in leaner, I want to do this. So I just thought, like, doing one show a year would keep me motivated and just give me that extra motivation, and also make me keep improving my physique, because most people train to maintain. They're not basically training to grow.
Yeah.
And people that train to maintain, they just go in there 2-3 times a week, get their little workout in. I wanted to grow, so doing a bodybuilding show once a year just to test myself was actually a good idea. It's probably one of the best things I did. And every year I did one. I just picked a small one, but every year I won it, and they kept saying, well, you need to do a much tougher show. Then I won that. Then so I think that's how it just kind of progressed, really, to be honest.
Okay. And I see you're big on social media and Instagram in particular. How has that affected or boosted your career, do you think?
Well, it's good. I mean, I tell people the social media really it's a platform for everyone. Everyone has an equal opportunity to kind of showcase their talent, and just showcase themselves. Really, to be honest, it's just a place to be real. It's like your own reality show, So you're there, and it's about your life. So you need to, if you're gonna present your life, you need to present it in a way where people see that and understand, and just know that you're real. So it's really impacted me, really, to be honest. I think the most thing is I get lack of sleep, just the amount of work and inquiries and stuff that we get. So I don't really get much sleep, because I'm up with my team, and then we have a team, we have to edit, and we have to put out content every day and stuff like that. So it becomes a lot of work, but it's good. It's actually very rewarding. I think if it's done properly, it's good.
Yeah.
And it's been a journey so far, but I still don't get that. I don't let that get to me, to be honest, because I was doing this way before, social media.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was posting pictures and stuff about my training years ago, I mean, I'm 40 now. I think there was not even Facebook then. It was MySpace, I believe, at the time. Yeah. If I can remember, Body Space and MySpace. I think that's what we had. And I used to post that. People used to laugh at me and think, like, no one cares about your workout. Like, what are you doing? Like, who cares? Like, it's a leg day, so what? Yeah. And I used to be like, well, I get 2-3 emails, and those people want to know what I'm doing, so I don't mind posting at all. And I remember having a conversation with a friend of mine that was a trainer at the time, and I used to tell him, you should do that, man. You should it keeps you, for me, it's just a structure, right? So if you get 5-10 emails a day and people are like, man, I really like what you're doing, please put it up because it motivates me. Back then I used to get, 2 to 5 emails or 2 to 10 emails, a day, and I just thought, like, you know what? I didn't care if it was one email. If I could motivate one person to stay fit and train and do this and do that, then I'll post and do these things. So I was doing it way before millions of followers, really. I mean, people do it now because, they're trying to sell programs and they're trying to do this and trying to do that. When I was doing it, there was no programs, there was no endorsements, there was nothing. It was just normal. So again, it goes back to what I say, it's part of your lifestyle, and it's something. That's why when people are like, how do you stay up? How do you do this? I was like, I was doing it from way before. Yeah. I mean, how do you balance it with your family, your training, your management team, launching a clothing line, doing this? How do you do it all? And I just give them the same answers. Like, I was doing it way before Instagram, know. So it's just a standard routine for me, really, to be honest.
And with your popularity, do you get any negativity and questions about sort of, is he natural and does he use supplements or ban substances and things?
Yeah, I get that all the time. To be honest, I don't really waste my time on negativity. I always tell people, look, the world is changed by your actions. It's not changed by opinions, really. So for me, I don't really dwell on people's opinion. My page is a positive page, is to promote and motivate people. Yeah. I think the number one reason people follow me is because they like my workouts and they like what I do, not because I'm natural or unnatural or I take whey powder or I don't take whey powder. I mean, to that, I always say it's to each his own. People, you have teenagers there and people that are young and look up to you, etc. But these people get older to choose what they want to do, and eventually they will. So for me, I don't really dwell too much on the negativity. Do I get it? I get the occasional one or two emails here and there saying this, that, and the other, and asking questions. And for me, usually my team deals with it, but they're more like, you know what, I'll take care of it. Don't, you know, for me, I don't really mind, actually. I just kind of laugh it off. But
yeah.
I tell people, look, it's more positivity. It's all about training. It's all about a lifestyle, and that's what I promote. So if you like it, it's good. If you don't like it because maybe you read something or someone told you this or someone told you that, then it's totally fine. There's thousands of other fitness professionals out there that you can follow and kind of look up to, you know. So I think that's how I kind of approach that issue.
Okay. And do you ever skip like leg day, or do you train every day, or do you ever, you know? Do you ever just have
typically, I try to train 5 days a week. Try to have a day or two off. It really depends on my schedule now, because my schedule just kind of gets a bit crazy sometimes. But for the most part, I train 5 times a week, and then I try to take a couple of days off. One, I'm getting older now, so what I used to do, squatting 5 plates and going crazy when I was like 25. I mean, I train more sensible now, so I don't do all of that, but I still do some crazy stuff that people like to see, so it's actually, it kind of balances out. But yeah, I try not to skip. I try to hit each body part, and I have a philosophy which has helped me over the years. It's how I look at my physique and I assess it, and whatever the weak point is, I target my weak point, you know, and I try to hit that like twice a week. So for the next 8 weeks, it might be hamstrings, you know, that gets hit twice a week. Then I reassess it again. Then the next 8 weeks, it might be shoulders.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I so I do that periodically. And so by the end of the year, my physique always tend to look balanced. And that's what's helped me. I just kind of always work on my weak points. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I tell people, you know, people that I see a lot of friends sometimes, and all they want to do is bench all the time and do chest and do arms, and like there's no need. I mean, your strong points are there, and people talk about it all the time. You need to bring your weak points up. So I think that's what's helped me. I tend to work on my weak points. I go in, I do hamstrings, and a lot of my guy friends are like, "Who cares about hamstrings?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "But I gotta train them." You know, I think it's just that bodybuilding mentality. Since I compete, I want everything to look balanced.
Yeah.
And I understand them, because some of my friends don't compete, so they're just interested in getting big arms and big chest, really. So, which is, again, to each his own. But I tend to keep it balanced, and I tend to train 5 times a week. If I have a shoot or a show coming up, then I move it to 6 times a week without fail. I make sure I get in 6 sessions a week, and then I always keep one day to just kind of relax. And it's not even, if I could train every day, I would, but, you know, obviously I got family, so I tend to give my kids one day at least.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Out of interest, what do you bench press?
Oh man, to be honest, benching is, I don't really bench heavy. I think I do like three plates, maybe sometimes 3.5 if I'm pushing it, for like a 1 or 2 rep max. But usually, typically, I go up to 3 plates, and then that's pretty much it. But to be honest, I'm not really a numbers guy. I've never been good at math, to be honest. So I just usually keep the weight. I like the high repetitions, to be honest. That's how I train. I train proper old school, a lot of volume supersets, sometimes trisets, and it's crazy because a lot of the stuff I do is just fast paced. It's my kind of cardio as well, and that's how I train. So as much as a lot of my friends, you know, all the friends that are bigger, you know, they like to bench heavy, and I would probably keep it to 2.5 plates, get 20 reps out of that. That works better for my physique than going to 3 plates or 3.5 plates and get 2 reps or 1 reps. Don't get me wrong, I do push it sometimes, because I think with any kind of training, you need some kind of strength set in there.
Yeah.
So I push for 1 set where I can maybe go up to that 3 plates. But once I've done that, a 1 set or 2 set, then I just drop down and just kind of really work on the volume, which gives me the pump. Because I think with bodybuilding, for what I do, the aesthetics and all that stuff, it's all about sculpting your physique. So superset, drop sets, and high volume repetitions work best for that. I'm not really a power lifter, so doing anything like 3 reps, 2 reps, or even 4 reps doesn't really work for me, and I think it also taxes your joints as well, which eventually at some point you're gonna have to change that as you get older.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, a final question is, what's the best way to get for fat loss and to get abs? Because lower abs are quite hard to get for a guy who's not, dedicated, let's say. So would it be sort of running or some sort of cardio? And also one other thing is the Lean in 15 guy. He's got a pretty good set of abs, and he does like 15 minutes a day. So is the message that you don't have to work too hard, you just have to get the sort of right balance, or what? What would you?
Well, I think for me, my experience over the years is a combination of two things. Number one, in terms of bringing out your physique or bringing out your aesthetics, I think the number one thing is diet. You have to make sure your diet is on point. Now, that doesn't mean you have to eat like a bodybuilder and just have steamed chicken breast and stuff like that. I tell people sometimes just minor adjustments like cutting out bread, cutting out your sugars, taking out sauces from different things that you eat would make a difference, and drinking a lot of water. So you make those adjustments right away when I'm getting ready for a show. Those are the first adjustments I make, and right away, boom, my physique responds just from that. I mean, I haven't even started steam stuff yet, but just cutting off sauces, cutting out bread, cutting out sugar, and increasing my water intake right away. I can tell how my physique reacts. So I think just slight changes like that would help, but I think the number one thing is diet. Second thing is consistency in your training program. So you need a good program design. What I do in terms of every morning when I do my fasted abs or fasted core with my push-ups and stuff like that, I think, like you were just saying, the guy that does 15 minutes every day in abs or core, I think that's absolutely right. I mean, I do 10 minutes every day on that, 10 to 15 minutes myself, and I think that keeps you very, very lean. I swear by that. You take 10, 15 minutes in the morning before eating, for me anyway, and do your push-ups, even if it's just 50, 3 sets of 15 or 3 sets of 20 or 60 or whatever, and then you do some core action or abs. You pick 2 other exercises and do that. I think it makes a huge difference cumulatively over the years. So I think little adjustments like that, but the consistency, and some people don't like doing that in the early morning. They're very tired. They're not interested in that, so maybe they don't want to do that. But I say do it when you go to the gym. So even if you're having your chest workout, make sure you get in a core session in there as well, with some push-ups and stuff like that, because I think it really helps. Maybe that's a way to finish your workout, or maybe even a way to warm up and get ready for your workout. So that, I think, works very well. So the consistency of your program and your program design is key for the type of individual. Obviously, as a trainer, I know that I can assess someone and say, okay, this is the form of training that I think would work best for you in terms of the goals that you've just told me. So I think if you have a good trainer that can assess that and put together a good program design, then you're good. Consistency in doing it regularly is also key. And also, obviously, like I said, your diet is very, very important. So I think if you have those tools in place, then I think you're on the right track in terms of achieving the right physique, obviously.
Cool. Okay, well, that's all my questions. So thanks very much for your time. And
not a problem, bro. Not a problem. I really appreciate the support with everything. I'm looking forward to meeting everyone when I get to Dubai, and it's going to be fun, definitely.
Yeah, I should be at the show too, so I'll come over and say hello, and maybe.
Definitely, man. Pop by. Let's catch up. Definitely.
Cool. That'd be good. All right. Well, thanks again,
Thank you,
and I'll see you at the show.